Hi, welcome back. This is video 2 of Ways of Asking. There are many ways depending on the answer you are looking for. First of all, remember that if you want to get information from somebody like who are you or what is this, you need to use question words. But like I said in my explanation before, I'm just going to review a little bit. This is not the only way to ask a question. There's more. If you just want to get a yes or no question, mean yes or no answer, here's what you will do. Besides using question words, you can simply place the subject after the verb and change the inflection of your voice. Inflection is important. Carlos está en la biblioteca. That's a statement. Now, if I switch está and put it in front of Carlos and I change my inflection like this, ¿está Carlos en la biblioteca? Repeat after me. ¿Está Carlos en la biblioteca? Now you have a question, and the answer is yes or no. To tell you the truth, sometimes you don't even need to switch the subject and the verb. Just simply the inflection of the voice will do it. Hay una fiesta en el colegio mañana. ¿Hay una fiesta en el colegio mañana? Repeat after me. ¿Hay una fiesta en el colegio mañana? And that's how it's done. Sometimes you can add a tag along. We already said that. In English, you would do the same thing too, like right, don't you? In Espanol, we would use something like no or verdad. Check this out. Hay una fiesta en el colegio hoy. ¿Verdad? Pedro está enfermo. ¿No? It's very important that you remember a couple of things about questions. First, when you use the question word, like como, cual, que, those ones we already studied, you always need to move the verb and the subject. So you put the verb before the subject. Check this out. ¿Cuándo es el concierto de rock? ¿Cuándo es el concierto de rock? Never cuándo el concierto es. That doesn't make any sense. In the answer, of course, you will switch them back. El concierto de rock es el lunes. Make sense? Also, and we're gonna study this in depth later on. The words, the question words are not stagnant. They can be used with prepositions, but you do this in English. You say what and for what and at what. All right, where to. So in español, these are some examples. ¿De dónde es él? Él es de Chile. ¿A qué hora es la fiesta? A las 9 de la noche. One is asking for a place and the other one is asking for a time. We'll go over this later on. So, the most important thing to pay attention here, obviously, is the verb form. Spanish is different than in English. We're going to have to switch some of the form of the verb when we answer. What do I mean? What I really mean is if I asking you I, you will answer you. Let me give you an example. If I ask you, did I lose my keys? You will answer, yes, you did. So if I ask you I, you will answer you, and so on and so forth. I ask you he or she, that wouldn't change. Like, for example, does he have a book? Yes, he has. So when doing it in Spanish, it could be a little complicated. Let's check it out. And also, every sentence must have a subject and a verb. Right? So if I ask you yo, which is I, you will answer with the verb form that is tú, or also with the one that is usted. If I ask you tú, you will switch it to yo, right? Do you study? Yes, I do. He will stay the same, he and she. Usted, being you formal, is like asking, do you study? You answer I. Nosotros could have three possible answers. It could be ustedes, because you're asking formal. It could be vosotros, because you're asking you all. Or it could be nosotros. Let me put you an example in English. If I asking if you're asking me, do we need a book? I will tell you, yes, you all need a book. All right. But I'll give you some examples in class, so it will get easier. Vosotros, which is you all, will be answered by nosotros. Do you all need a book? Yes, we do. Ellos, ellas, that's not gonna change. And ustedes, it's gonna go to nosotros. Here are some examples of what you're going to be looking at when you see verbs. We haven't done this yet, but I want you to get used to the concept. If I ask you estudias, I'm asking you. So the answer will be estudio, which is yo. A little hard? I bet. ¿A qué hora tienes? That's the word for you have. The answer will be tengo, which is the word for I have. Hay mucha tarea en la clase de inglés. There is a lot. Well, that is, doesn't change. Hablan is they, so it's going to stay with hablan because they goes to they. Necesitamos is the word for we need. So do we need books? So the answer will be yes, you all need. And this is the word for you need. Camino a la escuela means do I walk? And your answer will be yes, you do walk. And that is the word for you walk. You see, there's some changes at the end of words to make them apply to the actual person who's speaking. Vosotros bailáis, meaning you all dance, and then you will answer, yes, we do dance. Do you, or are you looking for a notebook? Are you? The answer is yes, I'm looking for a notebook. And are you taking the books to class? Yes, we are taking the books to class. So get the words, how they change depending on if I say an I or you or he or she. But this is something to study later on. And that's it. We are done. Are we? No. Now you have to practice. Click on the voice track activity that comes below this video and complete it before Friday at midnight. It's very important that you do this voice track activity because remember, this is an online lesson. So it's going to count towards your homework grade, but also towards your attendance grade. And if you miss 10 classes, and this will be one, I could administrative withdraw you from the class. So be sure that you do your online portion because this is like a class. See you. Bye.